Tonight, you will probably do something completely normal. You will turn off the lights, check your phone one last time, close your eyes, and expect your body to sleep for 8 uninterrupted hours. If you wake up at 2 a.m., you may panic. Something must be wrong. Stress, anxiety, insomnia, a broken brain. But for 99.9% of human history, waking in the middle of the night was not a disorder. It was normal, expected, even sacred. For thousands of years, humans did not sleep in one long block. They slept in two separate worlds. A first sleep, then a strange period of waking, then a second sleep. And hidden inside old medical journals, court records, diaries, and forgotten literature is evidence that modern humans may have erased one of the oldest biological rhythms we ever had. This is the lost history of human sleep and the mystery of the first sleep. Right now, the modern world treats sleep like a machine. You lie down, power off, wake up 8 hours later, efficient, continuous, silent. But ancient nights were nothing like this. Before electricity, darkness changed everything. Night was not entertainment. Night was survival. For early humans, darkness meant vulnerability, predators, strangers, uncertainty. The tribe could never fully disappear into unconsciousness all at once. Anthropologists believe ancient human groups likely developed flexible sleeping patterns long before civilization existed. Some members rested while others remained semi-alert near the fire. Sleep was lighter, fragmented, adaptive. And even after agriculture transformed human society, the old rhythm remained. Historian A. Roger Ekirch spent years studying pre-industrial Europe. In 2001, he published groundbreaking research revealing something astonishing. For centuries, people commonly referred to first sleep and second sleep in ordinary conversation, not metaphorically, literally. In diaries, medical texts, prayer manuals, court records, even literature from writers like Geoffrey Chaucer and Charles Dickens. People would go to bed shortly after sunset. They slept for around 4 hours. Then they woke naturally, not for 5 minutes, sometimes for an entire hour. During this strange midnight waking period, people talked quietly, smoked tobacco, prayed, reflected on dreams, visited neighbors, had sex, sat beside the fire. Then eventually, they returned to bed for their second sleep. This pattern was so common that nobody explained it because nobody needed to. It was simply human. Ekirch's research transformed the way scientists viewed sleep history. His 2001 paper, Sleep We Have Lost, argued that uninterrupted 8-hour sleep may actually be a modern invention. And suddenly, a disturbing possibility emerged. What if millions of people today are experiencing something ancient, but interpreting it as dysfunction? What if waking at 2 a.m. is not always a glitch, but an echo? In the modern world, artificial light surrounds us constantly. Streetlights, televisions, LED screens, notifications at midnight. Humans now live inside permanent sunset. But in 1992, psychiatrist Thomas Wehr conducted an experiment that changed everything. He wanted to know what would happen if modern humans returned to ancient lighting conditions. So Wehr placed participants into prolonged darkness every night for weeks, 14 hours of darkness. No phones, no lamps, no glowing screens. At first, the subjects slept heavily from exhaustion, but then something remarkable happened. Their sleep split in two, naturally, without instruction. Participants began sleeping for roughly 4 hours, waking calmly for 1 to 3 hours, and then falling into a second period of sleep. Exactly like the historical records described by Ekirch, and during the waking period, subjects did not report panic. They reported peace. Their brains entered an unusual state of calm wakefulness. Hormone levels shifted, stress appeared lower. The experience felt meditative rather than disturbing. It was as if the human nervous system remembered something the modern world had forgotten. Wehr's findings suggested that segmented sleep may not be abnormal at all. Instead, modern industrial life may have compressed human sleep into a rigid structure that our ancestors never followed for most of history. The Industrial Revolution changed the night forever, Factories needed schedules, cities needed productivity. Electricity extended daylight into midnight, and slowly human beings were trained to sleep like machines, one block, one schedule, one expectation. The old rhythm disappeared, but biology does not erase itself so easily. Sometimes it waits, quietly, inside the body. There is something strange about being awake at 3 a.m. The world feels unreal. The silence becomes physical. Thoughts change shape in the dark. Modern psychology often associates nighttime waking with anxiety because people interpret wakefulness itself as failure. You check the clock. 2:13 a.m. and instantly stress begins. I need sleep. Something is wrong. I'll be exhausted tomorrow. But ancient humans may have experienced these waking hours very differently. Without clocks, there was no countdown. Without work alarms, there was less pressure. Without endless stimulation, the mind drifted naturally inward. This may explain why so many historical accounts describe the period between first and second sleep as deeply reflective. Some used it for prayer, some interpreted dreams, some simply sat in silence beside dying embers. Neuroscientists today know that the brain behaves differently during nighttime wakefulness. In low light and reduced stimulation, the mind can enter deeply introspective states. Creativity, memory consolidation, and emotional processing become unusually active. And maybe this is why nighttime thoughts feel so emotionally intense. You are not thinking with your daytime brain anymore. You are thinking with something older, something ancestral. For most of human history, night was not a dead zone between productive hours. Night was psychological territory, a separate world. And around the campfire, humans evolved inside that darkness for hundreds of thousands of years. Imagine it, a small tribe sleeping beneath the stars, the fire crackling softly. Someone wakes naturally in the middle of the night. The air is cold, the world is silent. Everyone else breathes slowly in the dark. For a moment, that person simply watches the flames, and somewhere in the distance, a wolf howls. That experience shaped the human nervous system for longer than civilization itself has existed. Modern apartments are new, electricity is new, phones are new, but the human brain is ancient, and sometimes ancient systems still speak through modern symptoms. Today, millions of people lie awake at night believing they are broken. They search symptoms online, count hours desperately, fear the darkness itself. And of course, chronic insomnia is real. Serious sleep disorders exist. Modern stress damages sleep in profound ways, but the historical evidence suggests something important. Not every midnight awakening is pathological. Sometimes the body may simply be following an older rhythm, a rhythm buried beneath modern expectations. Researchers studying traditional societies today have also found that human sleep varies far more naturally than industrial culture assumes. Sleep timing changes with season, temperature, social structure, and exposure to natural light. The rigid, perfect sleep ideal may itself be unnatural. And perhaps the deepest irony is this: humans have never been more physically comfortable. Yet many people feel more disconnected from sleep than ever before. Our ancestors feared predators, we fear notifications. They stared into firelight, we stare into blue light. They slept beneath stars, we sleep beside charging cables. And maybe the body notices the difference. Maybe some part of the brain still expects darkness to be soft, still expects silence, still expects a pause between sleeps, the first sleep, then the quiet watch of the night, then the second sleep before dawn. A rhythm modern civilization almost erased, but not completely, because every night somewhere in the world someone wakes naturally at 2 a.m., and for a brief moment, the ancient night returns. So tonight, if you wake in darkness, do not immediately assume your body has failed you. For thousands of years, humans woke beneath moonlight and firelight too. They listened to the wind. They watched the embers glow. They waited quietly for sleep to return. Maybe the modern world taught us to fear the night because we forgot what the night once was. Not an interruption, but part of being human. A forgotten conversation between the body and darkness itself. Your body isn't broken, it's just remembering. And maybe the real mystery is not why humans wake in the middle of the night, but why we ever expected ourselves not to. So tell me, have you ever woken suddenly at 2 or 3 a.m. and felt strangely alert, peaceful, or deeply thoughtful for no clear reason?